Isn't it amazing how much content you can get into a video less than 1 minute long? Nothing detailed and in depth, of course, and still on my channel longer videos are clearly watched far more than the short ones. Maybe you haven't watched shorts very much, so this here kind of a video where you get 10 one after another might be a good introduction. I actually enjoy making shorts. It's sort of the preciseness of it. And also working so that you would get a quarter of a second off here and there to get it under a minute, or maybe half a minute. Most of these videos have a longer version, a more detailed version, so I'm linking those in the description. So here we are going to watch 10 of the most popular ones on my channel, except that I have left Christmas ones away from those 10. They come in no particular order, except that I have left the most popular to be last. And in fact, it was hard to take only 10, so after the 10th one, I have one extra one at the end. Today I'm filming in my hometown in the medieval castle here, which you can see behind me there. So let's start. This first one is something I learned on TikTok, one of those sort of funny things that you wouldn't think how you could make something. It's crocheting a border, and it looks almost the same as reverse single crochet, but it's done in a sort of a funny way. The next one looks at the two main types of crochet hooks and how you would select which one is best for you. There are two main types of crochet hooks, inline and tapered. Which one is right for you? These are inline hooks. Their shaft is in line with the top of the hook. They are sharper and have a slightly longer hook with a deeper lip. That can help beginners not lose their stitch. From the other hand, that means more hand movement and can be more of a strain on your hands. The sharper inline hook is good when you have difficulty in getting into tight stitches, but I personally hardly ever use inline hooks. These are tapered hooks. The hook extends past the shaft. They are more rounded and have a shorter hook. They allow for a lighter hand movement and may help you crochet faster. Because they are round, they don't split the yarn. There's no right or wrong, it's a personal preference. Almost all of my hooks are tapered. I have many videos about I-cords, and this type is the most popular. We are crocheting an I-cord. You need a long end to your yarn, and then make a slip knot. I have the end yarn here at the bottom, and the working yarn that comes from the ball is in there. So first go round that end yarn this way, and then go and take a yarn over with the working yarn and pull through both like that, and then we just repeat this round through the back, get yarn and make a stitch. So after you get used to it, it goes fast and you get a nice cord. Then the fourth one, it's giving you ideas of what you can take into consideration if you are making a large granny square blanket, using one of mine as an example. For a bohemian look, make sure there is no repeating pattern in how the squares are organized. Mix them up. In this one, the center is always off-white. Otherwise, there are about 30 different colors. Join the squares as you go. This makes the finishing easier and also gives you a lazier look. If you join as you go, create strips 3 or 4 squares wide. Sew them together at the end, otherwise your work gets too heavy. When you crochet a granny square, go from one round to the next in the corner. My most watched long form video has almost 9 million views, and this here one that comes next is also popular. It's just a quick recap of what the long one has. The next one was done as an answer to many people who are asking or commenting about the way how I crochet. So I'm simply showing quickly how I hold my hook and yarn. Children were taught to crochet at school when I was that age, and they still are in Finland. So most people crochet in a very similar way. My way isn't exactly that anymore. I have changed it to suit myself better. There are many different ways of holding your yarn and your hook. I'm showing you the way I do it. I hold the hook like a pen between my index finger and thumb. For speed, it's important that the hook is pointed slightly towards me, not directly downwards, not upwards. And while crocheting, the middle finger rests lightly over the live stitch. It's important to have it as relaxed as possible, so I would never lift any fingers up for an uncomfortable position. My work rests between the thumb and the side of the index finger, and the yarn is held with the rest of the fingers, like that there. I can lightly press it if necessary, and otherwise it runs free. When I need the yarn, I lift the middle finger slightly. The important thing, whatever way you crochet, is that it feels comfortable to you, it never hurts your hands, and that you can do it fast. This next one is popular both as short and as long form, as well as it's part of many of my videos that have more tips. So check that one out as well. To get a completely even and straight edge on both sides of something you crochet using double crochets, here's what you do. When you are at the end of the row, make 2 double crochets into the last stitch, but don't finish off the first one, but make another one in the same stitch. And now pull the yarn through both of them. To start the next row, chain 2, just 2, not 3, turn, and make a double crochet in that same stitch where you already had the chain. And that's all. You do this at the end and beginning of each row, and they stay completely straight. The next one is a stitch tutorial that also has a much more detailed one as a long form video. It's the bobble stitch. You always make the bobble stitch on a single crochet row, and you work from the wrong side. 5 double crochets into 1 stitch. That's 5, and you have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all of them and push it back and continue single crochets until the next bobble. The next one is the second most popular of my shorts. It shows how you can easily and without using several balls of yarn, treble your yarn in a continuous manner. You have lovely yarn, but it's far too thin for what you need it for. Fold the start of your yarn like this. Take all the 3 strands at the same time. Make a slip knot and start to crochet. When you come close to the loop, take your yarn through the loop with 2 fingers like this and pull. So it's treble all the way, and continue crocheting. Every time when you reach the loop, make a new loop. And continue with all the 3 strands. And then comes the most popular one. It has hundreds of thousands of views, and actually also in the last month it was the most popular video on my channel, even though it's about 4 years old. And then this 11th one, the next one, a number of people have commented that the title isn't quite right because it says without tools, and I do have a tool, but it's just a wooden spoon. So check it out and see. It is almost always best to start yarn from the middle, then it doesn't roll around. But what about skeins? How do you best wind them? If you don't have a yarn swift, ask someone to help you or put the yarn over your knees. You need a wooden stick, any kind. Hold the end of the yarn against the stick and start winding round. Make sure the yarn end doesn't get covered. When the ball is big enough, pull the stick out, a perfect ball with the yarn coming out from the middle, ready to use. It actually took me a while to get all this filmed because there are many weddings in this castle and I hadn't thought of the time. On Saturday afternoons it can be very busy. Here we had all of them. Were there things in them that you hadn't seen before? Please tell me in the comments. Would be nice to know. Till next time.